What's up, guys? We're going to try this again. We just tried to do a live podcast. There's a couple of things that kind of fight me with a live podcast. We'll keep part one open so I don't have to repeat all of that, kind of where we were and kind of where things are going. Um, but yeah, I'm doing this on laptop, and even though I paid $7,000 for internet, it sucks at night when you're doing on Wi-Fi because I live in an apartment and 75 billion other people are on the same internet. And yeah, something happened about halfway through that podcast and it cut us off. So if you want to hear the first 14 minutes of me ramble, go right ahead. It's up. We'll link it. You can listen to it. You probably should because you'll understand my pauses and what's going on. But I think where the other one cut off, I was told, was when we started talking about the games and blowing through games. And so look, at the end of the day, um, this has been the toughest man to keep people happy. If I talk to you in a PM, I've been saying it over and over and over. Whatever makes you happy, that's what I want to do, even if it's extra work for me. At the end of the day, the only reason I do this is so that you guys enjoy this and have a safe, fun place to play, and yet at the same time have tons of relationships that we all share. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just finished a 40-minute podcast and only 15 minutes of it recorded. So I don't know what I may or may not have repeated. So I'm just going to hop into this is where we were. We did lose some owners. Um, I don't know if the first podcast covered that or not. I'm not going to repeat it. If you want to know what happened, hit me up. It sucks that we lost Hude, but he made that decision on his own, and we got to move on. And this league has moved on even without me, and it'll move on without me again one day. Um, that day was almost a couple of weeks ago, but I was talked off the ledge, and so I'm going to keep this thing going, and we can kind of recess where everyone is after this Madden, and hoping the next Madden is more enjoyable for people. Um, Here are a couple of things that we do know. We'll talk about sliders first. Um, I think that our stats are pretty close to NFL. I think our sliders are not far off. There is some tweaks that need to be done. And so there is a test franchise up that has the tweaks made to it. If you would like to please help us with testing, then do so. Get a board member. Um, if you can get a board member and not me, that'd be better. Just because I'm so busy right now with everything. Um, get a board member, get you invited, get you in there, play as many games you possibly can, and give us feedback so we can test. There's a lot of things that can be tested. These sliders are adjusted from OMFL 2, our sliders, the NFL stats, PX1. We looked at a bunch of different things and kind of made the tweaks, but there are some things that we could test, like zero speed threshold, which I think Maniac is helping us test. Um, PX1 has an idea of they run a low pass coverage but high pass reaction. That's something we could test if we wanted to. Look, this game is gimmicky, and we have to figure out how to make it as enjoyable as we can. At the end of the day, there's only so many of us board members. We're all working as hard as we possibly can. I've got some great guys. I don't know if that got cut off. I did talk about the guys who were helping me behind the scenes. Um, if that got cut off, look, we've got some really great guys that I named who are helping me behind the scenes because I just can't do it all. And I'm running this entire community. I'm the main content creator, and I love doing all that. I'm not complaining. I've got two pet projects in the golf league, which is pretty steady now. We did lose some owners, but overall it's pretty steady. And then my baby pet project, which is the wrestling league, which I really, really want to see succeed because I get to be super creative. It's a ton of fun. Hey, if you want to be creative and you want to learn some new skills and come have some fun with us, Tavon has recently joined us. Dawson plays there. Check out the wrestling league. Hit me up. I'll show you how it works. It is a blast. But you guys aren't here for that. You're here for this. And I want to quickly recap where we were because, yeah, it's late and I want to get this out to everybody. So, because of that, there are a couple of areas uh, that we have to at least talk about. And if at the end of the conversation ends with there's nothing that we can do, then fine. First, tendencies. I don't know if this got cut off, but FPR grades came out. Overall, I'm happy with them. We all have stuff to work on. There's a couple of owners that your grades are super low. pick them up. You know what you need to work on. Hit us up if you don't know. We'll gladly look at it, and we'll let you know what the feedback forms are saying. Overall, those numbers were decent this year. They were better than last year, but they're averaging between 8 and 9 per person. We got to get that up to around 13, 14, 15, 16. Like, this is required. After every game, hit feedback, fill it out quickly. Um, I even put on there, I need you to use the names that are on that feedback form for your name and for the other person's name, because it takes me hours to clean these things up. I mean, you just would not believe how much work goes into this stuff. And so help me with that. Um, and I'm kind of skimming because I've already said so much and I don't know what all that other podcasts recorded. I will say that, sorry for the long pauses if that got cut off in the other podcast. I've been fighting sickness for about a month because of our crazy weather here. And on cue, I cough. And so I'm drinking some tea here to help me out. But um, sliders are up. FPR grades are out. Here's some tendencies that have to be adjusted. Cover 2 zone is a big problem. It's overpowered. I don't want to go round and round with people about it. It's overpowered. People use it in competition as a majority of their defense. It's because it works. It's because it's overpowered. It works too well. At the end of the day, that's why we have the excessive rule. For all these tendencies I'm about to say, they would all go away if people would just use the excessive rule and just, yeah, stay away from things that you shouldn't be using excessively. So stop with the cover 2 zone. We're seeing it 15, 20 times a game. We're seeing it 2 and 3 times in a row. We're seeing it 2 and 3 times in a row out of different formations and different genres of the play. But at the end of the day, it's still the same play. Here's the other thing we see in excessive. Every time people have the ball in space, they're spin moving and they're juking. Quit it. It's overpowered. Find something else. Use the truck. Use your speed. Take a freaking tackle. It's okay. You don't have to juke and spin move. Another thing that you don't have to do every single play is hit stick. Juke, spin move, hit stick. Don't do it every single play. It falls under the excessive rule. Don't do it. Mix it up, guys. Like, it's the same guys that I'm having to talk to about it. I'm just tired of talking to you about it. It's overpowered. Stop using it every play. Use it. I'm not saying you can't use it, but just be strategic about it. Hey, the last 3 times I've been in an open space, I've used the juke move. Maybe this time I won't use the freaking juke move. Hey, I've just hit stick this guy 4 times in a row. Maybe I won't hit stick him. Like, it's not complicated. It's not hard. You know what you're doing. Cut it out. You're better than that. Our community's better than that. So those are some tendencies that we're seeing. Hit, stick, juke, spin move, cover 2 zone. Let's manage those things ourselves. Let's get those things and be better about those things. At the end of the day, we've got a couple of other areas, though, that we feel like we have to at least have conversations about. User user defensive line. It's easier to get through with them. You can see this year. I think we had 3 defensive line who had 30 plus sacks or high 20s in sacks. If it weren't for injuries, we might have had a guy hit 40 sacks. Here's the problem with it. It's easier. It has nothing to do with stats. I think stats help, but I personally think it's just a timing. If you hit the right button at the right time, you're instant shedding, you're coming through, you're hitting the quarterback. If you're not hitting the quarterback, you're shutting down the run. And now guys are having to go tosses and sweeps, and they're having to run away from you. And look, I want strategy. And if a guy's a really good, okay, perfect example. D. Wayne's a really good user of defensive line. So I slide my blocking his way. I keep in a blocker. I do run some runs away from him. All right, it's a strategic thing back and forth that we both do. My suggestion, and it may be a bad one, but it's still my suggestion. And I'm open to critique. I'm open to you guys saying that's a dumb idea. Don't do it. I'm open because I've got board members that hate it. I got board members that think it's a stupid idea. I'm still presenting it. At the end of the day, though, I keep saying that. Sorry, it's my catchphrase because I'm tired tonight. Look, my suggestion is if you user a defensive line, you are not allowed to switch for that play. not after the ball's ran, not after the ball's caught. If you get the benefit of getting a quick breakthrough insta shed block, then the pay for that is that you don't get to switch users and make a tackle. You have to let your CPU players make that tackle for you. I personally think it's fair. Others would argue that the same should be done for other positions. I do not think so. I do not think that using a defensive line and gaining the skill of insta-shed blocking is the same as using a linebacker or safety and gaining the skill of covering your zone and making a pick. It's not the same thing. We can agree to disagree. That's how I feel. If you don't like the suggestion, it's fine. We don't have to do anything. At the end of this conversation, if the conversation ends with let's do nothing, then that's perfectly fine. I personally think it's a problem, and I think we at least have to have the conversation of do we do anything? If you don't like it, give me your ideas. I want to hear from you. Give me your creativity. What could we do? What could we try? How could we be innovators in the Madden community? Again, on my last podcast that may have got cut off, I talked about being a leader in the Madden community. We've been around the longest. We may not have the best of everything, but I do think that overall we have amazing dudes here who work super hard, and you're not going to find a place that works harder to make this a funner place. And I think we have even-headed guys. Um, so I think that we are a leader in the Madden community. And I've stayed away from the Twitterverse just because it's so negative and so yucky, and yeah, I just don't want that. And that vibe has been in our chat. I think all that's in the last podcast. If so, I'm not rehashing it. I'm over the negativity. Either play the game or don't play the game, but make a decision, because I just can't take the constant negativity anymore. It's drained me. It's killed what I feel like has been the best board we've ever had. We've now lost two of those members. One has quit the community completely, and all of it is because of a negativity around the game and a negative chat. And so I'm really over it. It's drained me personally, and I'm trying to stay positive, and I appreciate my friends and colleagues here that do stay super positive and bring that positivity. So the other thing that I'd like to talk about, I want to hear your thoughts about defensive line. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is we are going to ban aggressive pass rush and aggressive. Okay, so here's the deal. This is going to be hard to police, but if we catch you, you're out of here, no questions asked. My suggestion is that if you user the defensive line, then you are not allowed to use aggressive pass rush. You can't have both. If you play linebacker, cornerback, safety, if you play another position, then you can have aggressive pass rush on. It's an easy thing, I think, to check. You just fake snap them. If they jump, you know they got it on, right? As soon as you hike the ball, we see their icon, you can tell where they are. It's an easy thing to catch people breaking. And if you're caught breaking it, then we would just get rid of you, right? Um, that's one suggestion. Again, not a rule, but it's a suggestion. The one thing we will ban and that we have decided on is aggressive tackling. It then makes everyone a hit stick user, and every hit is a hit stick. Even people who don't have the trait will hit stick you, and it's lame, and it gets free fumbles. And the way to combat it is go conservative everything. And now we're at the excessive rule. Everything is being overused. There's no strategy. Guys are setting something and forgetting about it, and it's boring. And I'm tired of it. We're a better gaming league and community than that. So aggressive tackle will be banned. Hit sticking every play manually has always been banned. It's never been allowed. It falls under the excessive rule of doing something excessively. Cut it out. You know the handful of you who do it. Just cut it out. I'm not having to argue with you. There's a billion other leagues. Go play in them. If you want to stay here, you can't hit stick every single play. Um, so we're going to ban that. And then I'm open to user defensive line and aggressive pass rush. I think those are conversations that we have to have. Help us test. We have a test franchise up. Hit up a board member. If you need to hit me up, hit me up. I'm just super swamped right now. I'm totally honest with you guys. I'm drowning in stuff to do with work and with all the leagues here. I'm behind 24 hours on getting the show out for the GFW. We're about to start the off season. We're short 2 board members. I'm taking more and more on my plate, and so look, hit up a board member, get an invite, get in the test franchise, help us test it out, give us your feedback. Don't just play games. Play a game and tell us what you think. I loved it. I hated it. Adjust this, change that. Give us your feedback. We got to hear from you. We need to know what changes need to be made. And that's about it. I think I've now rambled for an hour and 50 minutes, but most of it was cut off on a live stream that went out. I got to stop doing live streams, but I was trying to give you guys an opportunity to chat with me live, and that just didn't happen. So I'll put this up in the thread. Please leave me your feedback. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think, and let's figure this out together. We're a team in this, and we need to pull together and create the best league and community that we have. We've lost some old guys, and that sucks. But we also have some really great new guys I'm super excited about, and they're excited to be here. So show them why they're excited to be here. Show them what our culture's like, all right? I'm going to work hard in season 76 to get the game of the week out every week. I'm going to work really hard with D. Wayne to get these podcasts out. I'm going to work really hard to find guest podcasts. I'm going to start the hot seat again. I miss doing it. I'm going to bring it back, all right? I'm going to do my part to give you content. Help me out by doing your part by staying as positive as you can, making this a fun place, helping us make this the best place that we possibly can make. Look, I know that sometimes I go overboard with stuff. I feel like over the years we've gotten rid of 90% of our stuff to simplify. I'm all about simplification. But if something feels too confusing, too hard, give us an idea of how we can simplify it. We've simplified the trade rules. We've simplified free agency. We've simplified contracts. Like, we really have done our part to make this as simple as we can. Even the rule book, Bart helped us simplify that. And so I'm open. This is your community. I'm just here to help lead it and make it the best that I can with what I can. Make sure you check out the website. All the player votes are up. The codes for in Discord are updated and ready to go for the off season. As soon as the off season gets here, we'll make sure to get the dates actually updated. As soon as the bowl game's decided here, probably in the next 24 hours, we'll make them plan a date. We'll do a live stream, the best that we can, a live stream of the OMFL Bowl. It may not be possible. I'm just saying that up front. May not be possible. What we may do is a Skype room. Put the Skype room up if guys, that's what we're moving to because it's free. I can host 25 of you in there for free. Get Skype. Nathan Lejeune, NathanLejeune. Add me. When we have a show, I'll post the link. We'll probably do a live Skype. I'll record the live Skype, and that way guys can watch the Super Bowl that's going to be recorded by whoever does it, and they can listen to the live Skype afterhand if they wanted to. Because trying to live stream the game just didn't work last year. Again, because I'm on, even though I pay an arm and a leg, it's a apartment Wi-Fi. Even though it's the highest speed that it's supposed to be 200 plus, it still bogs down at night. And I'm on a laptop, even though it's a Mac, to do all these things without extra video cards. It just doesn't work well. So it's hard for me to do live streams. I've messed with it for many hours, and this is what it is. So it's easier for me to do it a live Skype and record it and then post it up. So, look, thank you guys for listening to both these podcasts. I'm sorry that it cut out on me. I'm sorry that it came late. I'm doing the best that I can for you guys right now, and I hope that you understand. I want to hear your feedback this off season, and I really want to have a great season 76. Hopefully one day, Houday and others will come back. I don't know if that got cut off on the last one. I did tell the whole story. If it did get cut off, hit me up. I'll gladly tell you what happened. We're not hiding anything. It sucks. The whole thing sucks. It's not the way we wanted things, but this is where we are, and we got to move on. And so that's what we're going to do. Season 76 is about the season of moving on, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to drink my tea like an old man here and get my butt to bed. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Deuces.